the Michigan Republicans found that the claims being made about Antrim County, Michigan, were so outrageously false. They were so egregiously and obviously divorced from reality. They found that the people still pushing those claims might actually be motivated by something other than just misunderstanding. They might be motivated by something worse than just ignorance. The Senate Republicans, in fact, wrote this into their report. Quote, the committee recommends that the Michigan Attorney General consider investigating those who have been utilizing misleading and false information about Antrim County to raise money or publicity for their own ends. That's actually the only fraud the Michigan senators said they found when they looked deeply and carefully into all the Trump world conspiracy theories about the vote in Michigan. The only fraud they were able to find was the fraud committed by the Trump folks who were trying to sell this untrue, totally debunked, totally fictional fairy tale thing about Antrim County for profit. This is from the Detroit News. Quote, in an interview, Senator Ed McBroom, chairman of the Oversight Committee that wrote the report, said his panel found what appeared to be potentially fraudulent activity among some individuals who have been making false claims about the election. McBroom said, quote, if you're profiting by making false claims, that's pretty much the definition of fraud. Well, here's some news for us today. Michigan's Attorney General, Democrat Dana Nessel, today announced that she accepts that request and that challenge from these state senators who did the report debunking all the false fraud claims about Michigan. She said today that her office will investigate what they're asking her to investigate. Her office said today that the Attorney General's office and the Michigan State Police will investigate people who are profiting off making these Trump world false fraud claims about the Michigan election. And it seems like it might not be hard to know where to start. The Detroit News today pointing out that, in fact, one of the main proponents in Michigan of the fake election fraud claims there has up an election fraud defense fund fundraising page, which says that he's raked in over $384,000. The Detroit Free Press points out today that another prominent Republican proponent of the fake election fraud claims in Michigan, a former state senator, his website, making all these false fraud claims, also solicits financial donations for himself. There's also this, which we found today on the Telegram channel, promoting the cause of an Arizona-style election audit in Michigan. They're apparently going to hold an event in Michigan 2 weeks from now where you can learn all about the confirmed existence of systematic election fraud in Michigan. You can learn all about why they need to have a forensic audit there. You can learn all about it after you cough up $20 to get in the door. We tried contacting the organizers today to find out where that $20 goes if you, in fact, decide to hand over your hard-earned money to, again, attend the Michigan Fraud Fest. So far, we have not heard back from them, but we will keep trying. One other thing to watch here, though, is going to happen early Monday morning, because it's not just grifty potential fraud suspects in Michigan who have been pushing the false election fraud claims in Michigan. In late November, Trump attorney Sidney Powell and 3 other lawyers filed a federal lawsuit in Michigan trying to push many of these same claims. The lawsuit actually tried to force the state of Michigan into awarding its electoral votes to Trump, even though Biden won the election in Michigan. The federal judge hearing that case in late November not only dismissed the Trump world lawsuit, she basically nuked it. She wrote in her ruling in early December, quote, plaintiffs ask this court to ignore the orderly statutory scheme established to challenge elections and to ignore the will of millions of voters. This the court cannot and will not do. The people have spoken. The judge said, quote, this lawsuit seems to be less about achieving the relief plaintiffs seek and more about the impact of their allegations on people's faith in the democratic process and their trust in our government. Pow. That was December, federal court ruling. Well, on Monday morning, this upcoming Monday, bright and early, that same federal judge has now demanded the presence of all of those Trump lawyers who brought that dumpster fire lawsuit. She's demanded the presence of all of them at a hearing to consider, quote, motion for sanctions, motion for disciplinary action, motion for disbarment referral, motion for referral to state bar disciplinary bodies. That's where the Trump lawyers who filed that lawsuit will be Monday morning in Michigan. It's only 2 weeks ago that Trump lawyer Rudy Giuliani lost his license to practice law in New York State. thanks to his alleged lies and misrepresentations to the court in his own dumpster fire legal efforts on behalf of Trump's false claims that he secretly won the election. That was just 2 weeks ago. This week, Mr. Giuliani lost his license to practice law in Washington, D.C. for the same reason. Well, now we know that Monday morning, Sidney Powell and the other Trump lawyers who tried to play that same game in Michigan, they will have their reckoning as well. While the Michigan State Police and State Attorney General start investigating anyone who is making money still trying to sell this disproven, malicious, anti-democracy horse hockey to the American people. Happy Friday, everybody. TGIF. Lots of days we move back. Some days, though, we really do move forward.